Very much. So, Armando, just an introduction. Professeur Armando MELANI est donc le directeur de l'IRCAD à la fois Barretos, dans l'état de Sao Paulo, et de Rio de Janeiro. Et surtout, c'est sûrement un des chirurgiens que j'ai vu opérer en live surgery, la chirurgie colorectale et notamment le rectum de façon exceptionnelle. Donc je pense qu'il fait partie des top 3 meilleurs chirurgiens colorectales. Hopefully you don't understand what I said because it was a lot of... you have understood, hein? Oui. Allez, move on.
Merci beaucoup.
So move on. You can just give your testimony, please, Armando.
OK. Pardonnez-moi, je n'ai pas parlé français, je vais vous parler anglais. First of all, I see IRCAD in 3 different ways. So it's my privilege being here today for this testimony related to IRCAD. As you can imagine, with the introduction of minimally invasive surgery, France becomes the center of the innovative surgery. Until that time, the majority of surgeons in South America, they look for their training outside of South America, and they focus on USA. I really believe that the job done in IRCAD at the beginning by Professor Maresco and other French surgeons, they really changed, they shifted the world for the education. And the majority of surgeons, they start to see in France a place where they could learn new technology that they could apply in a better way for their patients. And it happens with me when I come for the first time as attending in IRCAD France, and I was very surprised. I was surprised because IRCAD Center motivates me much more than a surgeon, but as an educator also. What I saw in that time was an environment where you could share your opinion, you could discuss side by side of a great surgeons, and you could also be trained in a lab that is really realistic and really very close to our real environment in the OR, in the surgical environment. So I believe that this pathway and the program developed in IRCAD France, and this is the reason for its success all over the world, is exactly this strong way to teach and to educate surgeons. And we are educated in several ways, not only in surgery, but in French culture also. So it's a privilege to travel to France and understand a little bit about the French wine and the French food, and be received and hosted by so kind people that want to offer what they have the best. Well, imagine that a center, besides it's big enough, cannot train everybody. And so the way to multiply your efforts is to go overseas. And this is exactly what IRCAD did when they went to Taiwan first in 2008. And then what happened in South America, where we could fortunately bring to Barretos, is a town in the state of São Paulo. We could bring this training center attached to one of the largest cancer hospitals in Brazil. You can imagine that there was a lot of barriers to use of minimally invasive surgery treating cancer. But we know nowadays that that is the best way to perform. And so we had this privilege to bring to South America, IRCAD, and we start in Barretos. Luis Romagnolo is here today. He's a scientific coordinator of IRCAD Barretos, and he also developed after innovative programs. But the most important thing is the concept. When we brought the concept from South America, we could treat and we could train people in the same way that they were trained in France. And the results in all of these years of training are amazing. And we can see, for example, the development of our friends in Peru. We have more than 1,000 attendees from Peru. We have 800 attendees from Argentina. 40% of people that comes to Brazil to see IRCAD, they come from Latin America. And also people in Brazil, we train over of these 2 units, more than 20,000 people in these last 11 years. And this is a huge power of the French surgery. This is a huge power of the lessons that we learn from French surgeons. And I believe this is a great legacy of IRCAD. It's the legacy to transfer this knowledge, to transfer this behavior. And of course, the majority of people love it and try to replicate in their own cities. Fortunately, in 2017, we have another opportunity to expand for a general hospital. And this is why we built the second unit of IRCAD in Rio, because the first hospital is totally dedicated to cancer. And some of the courses we couldn't run in the same way that it runs in Taiwan or it runs in France. And so we have this complementary training center that is located in Rio de Janeiro. And this complementary center, it's a center where we deal with more benign disease, we deal with emergency, things that we cannot hold in Barretos. And this is why we have 2 centers. Well, and we really believe that the power of IRCAD and the power of all of this program and everything that surround the IRCAD environment moves forward the surgery. Well, Brazil is not as, there are areas in Brazil that is not as developed in France or USA, but imagine even in these areas, we can apply the minimum of minimally invasive surgery. For example, gallbladders. We don't need to do very complex surgery, but what we can offer for these people and for the patients, you can imagine the benefit that they have with this kind of procedure and the doctors with this kind of training. And of course, the education in these places are not the same as in Europe. There is a lack, and some of the residents here in Brazil, until 10 years ago, they didn't have a minimally invasive surgery. And the whole of the IRCAD to promote, to train with continuous courses for all of the surgeons, you can imagine what did in their lives. And so I'm here today to say that for me, the expansion is natural, because the way that multiply good things is to have metastasis all over the world to do what you have to do in a better way. And there is no better way to be trained as in IRCAD. So I believe that IRCAD is a big ambassador of the French surgery all over the world. And we are glad to be participate of this IRCAD family, and also to open our eyes to French surgery.
Thank you
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Armando. Thank you so much for your testimony.